What's poppin', kings? Hope all is well. Today we're gonna be talking about these things that I'm about to tell you. They helped me not relapse on semen retention and prolong my streaks and turn them into a lifestyle. So let's get into it. First and foremost, shout out to the Most High for allowing me to do this video. Hope everybody's doing well, you know, whether you're watching this video in the morning or evening time. But before we get into it, make sure you pound the like button and subscribe. Let's dive into it. First off, smoking weed, I used to do it, right? I don't do it no more. I don't even drink. You know, I just drink straight water, energy drinks from time to time. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much me. I'm just going to tell you what works for me. And if you think it works for you, apply it to your life. It might work for you. I think it will, though. So back in the day, I used to smoke weed, right? And I used to practice semen retention, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you want to talk about spiritually, you know, sometimes you can give in to that. You can give in to those urges, like, oh man, I want to smoke, I want to smoke. You can give in to those urges, and then now you noticing that you're smoking weed more than you should be. You know, you're not doing it in moderation. You know what I'm saying? Or even, you know, drinking. You know, I'll give you an example. Let's say back in the day, I used to take some shawties to the bar or something like that, or they come over to the crib. You know what I'm saying? We got the bottles, we got the wine, whatever it may be. And we sipping, you know, because once you start to drink, it's a form of pleasuring yourself. That's a form of pleasuring yourself, which is masturbation as well. You know, watching those adult sites, you know, before you go to sleep, spanking the meat, you know what I'm saying? That's a form of pleasuring yourself. But when I stopped giving myself those temporary pleasures, like giving myself that temporary high from the weed, right? Because it don't last all day. You know what I'm saying? It may last 2 to 6 hours, maybe. I don't know. You know, it's been a while, so I can't tell you. You know, with drinking, you know what I'm saying? Depending on how much you drink, that's going to determine how much and how strong the alcohol is, rather. You know what I mean? So, from doing those things and noticing now how my life and my body is from not doing those things, it has made it so much easier for me to prolong my streaks on semen retention or no fap, and just turn it into a lifestyle, because I don't even count the days anymore. Of course, I know what month I'm in, you know what I mean? But I don't count the days. Somebody asked me the other day in the comments, what was my longest streak? My longest streak was like 700 days. It's almost 2 years. That's a long time, bro. That's a long time to not be spanking the meat. That's a long time to not be pleasuring yourself. But guess what? You put in 40 hours a week on your job, and if you put it in a good amount of time into yourself over the span of almost 2 years, you're gonna notice a lot of change. Like, I've noticed a lot of change in my physique, just my mental, you know, my business that I do. I've noticed so much change just from putting that down. Now, I say this, I said a video last week about video games, right? Now, if you're not getting paid to play video games, you shouldn't be playing them as much. Notice, as much as a Twitch streamer. Now, if you a Twitch streamer and that's what you get paid to do, for sure, do that. But if that's not what you get paid to do, you know, an hour on it every now and then, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you spend 8 hours on that all day, 4-5 times a week, no. Same thing with weed. If you smoking weed 4-5 times a day, you know what I'm saying? You ain't really working on your goals. That's gonna start to affect you, because I notice whenever I drink certain things, whether it be clear or dark, I'm like, man, I'm trying to smash something, man. Sometimes whenever I smoke some, you know what I'm saying, certain strains, I'm like, man, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it wasn't more so just self-pleasure, it was just pleasure in general. But you got to understand, when you're trying to develop a lifestyle, the woman always going to be there. The weed always going to be there. The drinking is always going to be there. But your goals have an expiration date on them, my G. Even if you're a lady watching this, even if you're a woman watching this, bro, it's a lot of women who struggle with smoking weed, bro. It's a lot of women who struggle with smoking cigarettes or drinking. I'm not judging, because everybody go through something. Ain't nobody in this world perfect, bro. But at the same time, once you start to acknowledge what your vices are, you can then combat them things. You can then fight back. You know how they be saying, like, somebody getting jumped in a world star video, fight back, nigga, fight back. You got to start fighting back. You got to start fighting back for the things that seemingly, that's why I put quotations, seemingly have power over you, because you feel like, man, I can't stop, man. Man, I'm gonna stop doing it today. I'm gonna stop doing it. You feel like it got so much power over you that you can't stop, but you got the power. I'm gonna get closer. You got the power. You feel what I'm saying? You got the power to control anything in this life that you want over you. You can't control people. You know what I'm saying? You can't control the weather. But what can you control? You can control what you can control. Remember that. Control what you can control. You can control your consumption. You can control, you know, your urges. We just don't feel like we can because we've been giving into them so much. You know, so what I'm saying is, like when I started the video, by not giving into the weed, by not giving into the drinking, has helped me discipline myself in other areas as well. You know what I'm saying? Because at first, when I was doing the no fat, but I was still smoking, I was still drinking, or whatever it was, you know, I was still going out and buying myself clothes every time I got some money. You know what I mean? That's a form of pleasure. I was pleasuring myself. Believe it or not, because once you start to feel good, you know, you're feeling yourself, you know, you start knocking down some of your goals, you kind of lose that edge a little bit sometimes. But you can gain it back. So let's say, you know what I'm saying, you making a little bit of money, you know what I'm saying, you getting some attention from these females, you taking them out, you know, having your way. Life is just seemingly flowing for you. Everybody has his moments, it's highs and lows. But what I'm saying is you can start to feel yourself and your ego starts to get hyper inflated. That's why I said in another video, when you're shooting a free throw, right, you're gonna have people booing you, saying you suck, blah, 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 but you still gotta sink the shot. And even if you playing for your home crowd, you're gonna have people cheering for you, like, oh yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. But you still have to sink the shot. So don't let the cheers inflate your ego, and don't let that success in the moment inflate your ego, and do not let the boos or the people or the haters deflate your ego. You gotta have a nice balance. It's a thin line. It's a very thin line. So also another point I want to get at is, like I said, from working on those things, whether it be the porn, we know, whether it be working on my diet too, you know what I'm saying, constricting what I eat in my diet, also constricting the weed, the alcohol, it has allowed me to become stronger in my discipline in other areas. You feel what I'm saying? Because you can work hard in other areas of your life and it's going to affect other areas, mind, body, and soul. It's like a triangle, like the triangle offense. This affects this point. This point of the triangle affects this point of the triangle. This point of the triangle affects this point of the triangle. It's a trifecta. And other things, you can build on to that. But I'm just saying, in terms of the topic of today's video, as a man, it's important not only to desexualize your mind, but it is important to have control over your vices, because they will be your downfall if you allow them to be. I'll say that again. Your vices will be your downfall if you allow them to be. And if you watching my videos and you've been a part of the community that I'm building, whether you're new here, you've been tapping in for a week or so, you know, I really am trying to help men older than me. You know, I think the demographic is about 18 to 34, but I have people older than that watching the videos. Bro, we gotta sit together, bro, because this is not a lot of guys out here that really want to better themselves. They want to better themselves for the sole sake of getting women. And that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Better yourself for the sake of becoming the man that God made you to be. Don't do it for a woman. Not to say that women are the devil or anything like that. We need women. Women are an important part of the society, just as we are. But what I'm saying is, work on yourself. Develop yourself. Develop your mental. Don't get with no woman if you can't control your sexual desires, bro. Because what you gonna do when she say, I ain't giving it up? You gonna go spank the meat again and start back on that cycle and start doing that again? When you get depressed, you gonna start hitting the blunt again? when you get depressed or get anxious, you're gonna start going and drinking and inherit that problem again. Nah. We gonna overcome those things. It's gonna take time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna flex. I ain't gonna stunt. It's gonna take time, G. It's gonna take time, but are you willing to sacrifice? And think, like I said, all that money I ain't spending on the drink, all that money I ain't spending on the weed. You know, some people may, I've never done this, but some people even spend money on the OnlyFans. You know, that's money too. You know what I'm saying? So your vices and your desires and the things that you feel like you can't get over, your addictions rather, that's costing you money, G. When you could be putting that money into your pocket. You probably, you know, like I said, I used to smoke a lot, bro. Like Wiz Khalifa type, you know what I'm saying? Buying like a lot of stuff, let's just say that. And that stuff adds up. So if I'm not spending that money on that, if I'm not spending the money on the bottles and going to the club, buying shots and all that kind of stuff, what can I put that money into now? Me, my family, my community. I can donate, I can give back, I can do greater things with it. Instead of just aiding my addictions. I want to see everybody who watching this video, or watching my videos rather, grow and be the man that God made them to be, because God made us all to be great. Whether you're white, black, purple, blue, Arabian, European, Irish, whatever, Hispanic, we all brothers. And we gonna disagree on things, but at the same time, what we can agree on is being the best men that we can be for the people in our lives. I love y'all. Thank you for watching my video. If you made it this far, please, it would be of a pleasure to me if you could like, subscribe, share with your mama, your auntie, your cousin, your uncle. I'm gonna go get this workout in. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Peace and blessings.